as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
Thanks to Anita Norje and really Project Music Management as I know it, I get to meet now the president of the association called Friends of Project Music Management. Yes, they have friends. Nice to have friends, particularly ones in high places who influence people. And I'm sure that this gentleman, just by his name, Simon Baldwin Purry, is one of those people. It's a pleasure to meet you, Simon.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I've heard so much about you from Anita, from Shane, and then on internet having a little Google about you. Well, it's lovely to see that you really are very involved with cultural, with arts, with music. So it seems like a very fitting place for you to be now presiding the Friends of Project Music Management. How did you get involved, may I ask?
Well, quite simply by starting right at the beginning of the Project Music Management's concerts. I went as a simple punter, as it were, and I enjoyed it so much. I got very enthusiastic, and in the fullness of time I came to know Shane O'Shea and discussed matters with him, because I was so impressed by the young talent that he's being able to bring over to the coast here, and I've seen how it's increasingly attractive to people who live in this area. And the mix of music and art as well has, I think, been a cross-fertilization, as it were. But having said that, the truth of the matter is that it's done on a shoestring, and these are young people who come sometimes from thousands of miles away, and they need to be cosseted and they need to be given the right opportunities. It was with that in mind that my committee was formed, and we are promoting Friends of Project Music Management. Indeed, we have a special offer, as it were, at the moment, of founding members up until the 1st of April.
And what, as a founding member of Friends of Project Music Management, do you aspire to achieve? What are your goals?
Well, initially it is to give the right equipment to these artists, and the essential feature at the moment is a grand piano of really good quality, because you must remember that these are people who are going to be big names in the future. Some of them already are prominent in their field, but they're going to be going places, and they need to have the best equipment.
So will you be looking then also for your own set venue to obviously house this equipment? Because at the moment you've been performing in Avanto, which is a very nice location. I mean, just first of all, Frontline Beach and the light. But is that an aspiration then also to get a fixed venue?
Well, I have to say that at the present time, we're not of the opinion that we can improve as a venue on Avanto for the sort of soirees that we're interested in, and that Project Music Management has so far done. So you're quite right, of course. We want to expand as much as possible, but in fact it isn't that easy to expand because of things like a grand piano is not able to be moved around. Indeed, it doesn't do it any good, I'm told. I'm just a layperson, so I don't know the technicalities in these matters. But
so you don't play any instruments, but you love, obviously, to hear musical talent. When did that passion start in your life?
Well, it was quite a long time ago. When I was at school, I was a bit of a failure because, in terms of music, because I didn't really like pop music. But it wasn't until I first went to the Royal Opera House in my late 20s that I actually discovered classical music. And like all ignorant men, I know what I like, and I like classical music.
Well, it's funny you say that. I remember I was like 8 years old shopping with my mum in Safeways, and I saw a LP of Swan Lake, Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake, and I wanted it. Mum said, "Oh, you don't want that." And I said, no, but I really do want that. I don't know why I wanted it, but she bought it for me. And then she ended up taking me to the Royal Opera to see Swan Lake, the ballet.
Really?
And it's those little moments in life that really can change your life. More so, Ben Rolls, the Belgium international pianist, he said that it was him going to see Richard Clayderman with his father that turned him into this classical concert pianist. So it's like you need to get some kind of exposure to it, which why it's so important to have something like project music management in Marbella, because we have children here now, foreign children who are born here, grow up here, and they've never been subjected to this type of music.
It quite often comes late in life, and sadly too late for a lot of people, and so it is important to try and nurture it in listeners as well as the artists themselves. But we certainly have got a wonderful lineup for this year in concerts which will be going on throughout the year, and I hope that the rather more elderly members who attend at the present time will certainly be supplemented by younger people in the fullness of time.
Well, I'm sure it's just a case of being exposed to hearing things like this, and the opportunities that you are bringing to the families and to everybody on the coast are commendable.
Thank you.
How long ago did you arrive on the coast? How long have you been here?
I've been here 16 years, full time. I've had a house on in the area for 25 years.
Can I ask where you hail from originally?
Cambridge.
Oh, lovely. I mean, it fits with the accent and the whole look, doesn't it? In fact, I mentioned before how much that you remind me of our wonderful art dealer, James Kay. And you know, you're good friends. And I go, well, excuse me, because I'll start talking like that, you know. But you look, the picture, you look like you belong as the president of a musical event thing.
I expect it'll only be temporary, but we have some younger people coming up.
You're very keen to bring youth, obviously, into the understanding, the awareness. These events coming up, I've seen that you've got artists coming from Australia, Germany, Italy, the Eastern Europe. I mean, it really is a big mix. How do you even begin to make the selection?
Well, I have to say that I have nothing to do with that. I am just the chair for the time being.
Get the money in.
Of the comfort squad. I mean, we certainly hope, but you were asking what we intend to do. Well, we want, in the fullness of time, to be able to offer benefits such as bursaries and the like for these young people, because it's an expensive business, as you can imagine, travelling all over the world.
And then even just the moving them around when they're here. And I mean,
Indeed.
the eating and sleeping, we don't think about how many little facets go into just bringing one little concert of an international calibre that your association is trying, and obviously is succeeding in putting together.
Well, we very much hope so, yes. Yeah.
So what do you need from us, from the community? We need a piano. So well, we don't, not just any piano, we need a concert grand piano.
Well, we need people to become friends, that's the first thing, and to contribute what I hope will be considered a modest amount, considering the advantages.
And what will be, can you tell us the amount? What would be the advantages? Can you give us more information?
Yes, a single membership is €150 a year. And a double one for couples is 200. So that's a bargain. And it's
and does that get you discounts then on the different performances throughout the year?
It does indeed, and gives you a privileged position in terms of reservation and so forth. And we're intending to have private soirees just for foundation members, where they will have advantages of
and VIP treatment, very
treatment
VIP
indeed, and rehearsals, attending rehearsals, which some people find very interesting and enjoyable.
Well, it is nice because you get to see the difference of when someone's in their own element playing for themselves, as when they switch on, and they're then getting that feedback from the audience, which is what makes a live performance so very special, when you can actually got that tangibility, you can actually feel the vibrations of the music.
Indeed.
And the feedback of the audience. There's a nice variety as well of music coming with the different instruments and the different specialities, even a trio. So it's lovely that you're going to get this mixture of musicians and international interpretation, because it does seem to me that different countries, they have different interpretations. It's not just we speak languages differently, but you can kind of feel the internationalism in when they're playing. It's
that is true, particularly with pianists, I think. But yes, with cellists as well.
Oh, there you go. Says it doesn't really know that much, but he obviously knows quite a bit more, the appreciation of music from the outside. And it's okay if you don't play an instrument, and even if you don't understand the music, it's what it makes you feel, how it makes you react.
It's the importance of enjoying it. That's if you enjoy good music, then the Friends of Project Music Management are the place to be.
Well, there you go. We've heard it from the president himself. So take heed. It's been a pleasure to chat with you, Simon. It's really nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
So it's been here 16 years, and yet we've met for the first time today. So there's a small world, a lot of us in a little place, but there's still a long way to go till we meet each other. I hope we can all support this fabulous incentive, and it's a pleasure to meet you, Simon.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
Linear Director has a brand new exclusive service. It's called a GPS geolocator. This breakdown recovery and roadside assistance service can pinpoint your location immediately, wherever you are on mainland Spain or the Canary Islands. The GPS technology is simple, quick and safe to use from any smartphone with coverage at the breakdown point. There is no need for you to know your location. Even if you're lost, they will calculate the quickest route to you, and there is no extra cost for using this service. So if you break down, you just call Linear Director on their roadside assistance service, and they will send you an SMS to your smartphone. You just open the SMS, click on the link to go to the geolocator website. All you need to do is authorize Linear Director to locate your positioning using that GPS and satellite technology. Once authorized, they will pinpoint your location and send a breakdown vehicle to meet you. If you want more information on this GPS geolocator service or any of the other great services that Linear Director offer, why don't you call 952 14 78 34, that's 952 14 78 34, or visit their website, lineardirector.com.
Hello Marbella, it's Amanda from Silk and Thin here again, and I'm here to talk very quickly about what's quite a serious problem that's been presented to me by who we should call Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are suffering from the problem which some of us have suffered from ourselves, and we've all heard about: very, very bad neighbours. Now, they moved into their property only 6 months ago. Perfect property, their dream house, they love it, they love the street, they love the other neighbours, they love the neighbourhood. Unfortunately, the neighbours next door to them don't love them, and they don't love them either. There's been various things happening. From it started out with rubbish being dumped in the street, it's gone on to their car parking space being taken, noise late at night, very loud noise, even during the day, and just generally it's deteriorated and deteriorated. And Mr. and Mrs. Smith have tried talking to their neighbours and have been met with aggression. And they're sort of not an elderly couple, but they're not in the first flush of youth, and Mr. Smith's certainly not a bodybuilder, and he doesn't want to resort to that sort of thing anyway. Now, there are two answers to this quickly, and I'm going to deal with this quite quickly, is that if it's not a council-run property and you want to be Ento-run property, go to your community and report it to them immediately and tell them what's happened. Take photographs, get evidence, record the noise, record the cars being parked, take photographs of the cars being parked in your parking space, record the noise and the unusual timings of the noises. but make someone aware. Don't just live with this in misery, because Mr. and Mrs. Smith are actually regretting buying this stunning property. And let's face it, before you move into somewhere, you don't know who your neighbours are. You can't go knocking on the door and say, hello, you know, who are you? What are you like? So it's very difficult to know who you're going to end up next door to. If it is an Ayuntamiento run property, go to them and really push this point. And if you have to, and your community or the council don't take any direct action or take too long in doing so, then find yourself a lawyer, because really nobody should have to be put up with this. Our home is our castle and our home is our refuge, and we really need to sort this out. And Mr. and Mrs. Smith are really at the end of their tether, and I'm sure you can understand why. They're doing what I've told them. They've taken the photographs, they've started making recordings, they've gone to their community, but they're also consulting a lawyer. And this is a problem many people face, and it's something that shouldn't be ignored. We don't need to be bullied in our own home. So, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, good luck, the best of luck to you, and our greatest sympathy and this advice to anyone else who's suffering the same sort of thing. So this is Amanda from Silkinson, a very different problem, but let's hope this one gets solved. Thank you very much, Marbella, and have a great, happy and friendly week. Bye-bye.
Hey, hey.
Just looking at the menu here at the pharmacy, and it really is quite delicious. If you care about your health, and as our guest this week said from Celimed Clinic, we are what we eat, so it's a very good idea to come down to the pharmacy and check out some of the things they have on offer. It's been super fun recording here at the pharmacy. There is a great atmosphere, lots of great people, very comfortable club atmosphere. If you've never been here before, it's worth checking out. We're really grateful that you joined us this week from Marbella Now. We hope you enjoyed the programme, meeting our guests and finding out what's going on in our city. If you've got something interesting to share with us, please do let us know. We'd love to hear from you, because that's the idea. We are #SoMuchBetter together. That's it for this week from Marbella Now. Please take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye for now.
And it's time.